Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. And it's been a long time since I've jumbled my teams around. So I have four new members here, actually five. The Klefki is a different set from the one that I had earlier, and Scolipede, meaning collector, is temporarily here because I just got some things from the Pokebank, and one of those things that I'm going to put in this team is a Conkeldurr with an Iron Fist, and I'm going to pretty much wreck shit up. So I'm battling yours truly, and I send in Astinos because it is a steel monstrous thing that will kill you. So apparently he leads with an Eviolite. Misdreavus, very good move to go for the Will-O-Wisp because he would have made my Power Whips completely useless. So I need to figure a way around Misdreavus. So Tyler has a Magic Bounce Espeon running around there, and with two Pranksters, this thing is going to be very important to him. So I predicted the switch into that, and that's why I went for the light screen, just to set up some of the screens. Euclidus, ladies and gentlemen, is Alicia Keys' younger brother. So I'm hoping that he will live up to what his little sis did over there, older sis, whatever. So I expected the setup move, to be honest, maybe a reflector or a screen or something, and he goes for the substitute, which was a very good move. So he's gonna wreck my collector, and it's gonna take a lot of damage, and it doesn't even bring it to my focus sash, but it doesn't matter. Thing is, I really need to break the focus sash, and what I should have done is I should have predicted him to predict me to go for. I should have predicted a switch and gone for a Swords Dance, but it wouldn't matter because apparently he switches into Donphan, and this thing is a freaking monstrosity. It tanks physical hits perfectly. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a tank of my own, and it is the Scandalous Stone. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Muret, my max defense, max HP. My max defense, my max HP. What do you call it? Quagsire, unaware ability. And this was the reason why I had a huge argument in the Greek competitive league, because those idiots would not listen. Yes, if you guys are watching this, Iste Lithi, you're idiots, because I had an argument about this thing. It is a perfect physical wall, and they wanted to ban Excadrill, and they said that there's nothing that can counter it, and I said, guys, unaware Quagsire completely walks all over Excadrill's face because it nullifies the Swords Dance, and it generally walls both of its stabs. So Quagsire is a very, very good switch in. I left because they actually insulted my intelligence very much, because guys, you know me, I wasn't born yesterday. I've been doing competitive battling for quite some time compared to that community that was born just a few months back. So it's experience really, and when someone knows something better than you, just shut up and listen and do not play smartass like my previous colleagues did. So Collector dies because it wasn't able to take out the Grand Bull. Tyler, your defensive EVs worked perfectly here, so I go Mega with Mega Blastoise, and surprisingly I didn't expect it to outspeed it, because it was generally slow because I have max HP, max special attack. Thing is that this one is Tyler's. Craig, I replaced yours because it had a bold nature, and Tyler's one was a modest. So I expected him to go Mega here, but he makes a beautiful prediction, ladies and gentlemen, and on top of that he gets a paralysis on my Mega Pokemon. So that's it. Mega Blastoise is completely useless. It is useless. So I predict another Thunderbolt because I'm pretty sure that he wants my Mega out of the way. So Ampharos is a very good counter to my Blastoise, but my Quagsire completely walls this thing entirely. So I'm gonna go for the Earthquake, and I knew that Espeon might have been coming in predicting the Yawn, but I have a Life Orb on this thing, by the way. I'm that insane. So, ladies and gentlemen, I predicted him to switch out. That's why I switched my Euclidus in, because that Espeon lived with like what, 0.3, 0.4 HP. I mean, it was just barely alive, and he really wants his Espeon. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler wants his Espeon around. If I had some Stealth Rocks, that thing would have been death fodder by now for a safer switch in later on. But he predicts my Toxic very well, and this Espeon will never be status. So if I had some Stealth Rocks up by Astinos, it would have been a very good move. But it was my lead, and I wanted to save him from the Will-O-Wisp, so apparently it was a good thing that I switched him out. But oh well, what can you do? So thing is, I switch out my Euclidus because there's not much he can do here. Actually, there's nothing he can do. Espeon completely walls this thing. So Espeon goes for a Psychic on my Muret, and it takes it fantastically well because, ladies and gentlemen, Quagsires do not have very good special defense at all. So I'm thinking that Espeon does not have any special attacking investment whatsoever. So he predicts my Earthquake beautifully there, and this, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, this decided a lot in this match because it's 18 minutes, and if my Muret was burned, this match would have gone a whole different way. So I expected another Will-O-Wisp, and I know that Mega Blastoise doesn't care because he's already paralyzed. So the light screen wears off. This thing falls asleep. It is asleep. I'm paralyzed. Ladies and gentlemen, status hacks everywhere. The hacks gods were laughing all over our faces. So I have to send in Sparkles because I really wanted to test this thing. Meet my prankster Sableye, courtesy of Jamal Roland, Aura 5777. So a taunted Misdreavus is no good for anyone. So Shadow Ball, it's his only op, and I kind of neutral resist this thing. So he's forced to switch out. So it is a very good opportunity for me to go for a Nightshade because this thing will die apparently, and there's not much he can do. So he withdraws his Espeon because he really wants it around. He is dying to use this thing, man. So I go for another Nightshade, and that's that. It actually took it very well. So I go for the Taunt, expecting him to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and he goes for the Shadow Ball because he knows that I'm going to taunt, and I'm not going to be taking my chances because if Sparkles is Will-O-Wisped, it kind of defeats its purpose. I do have a Lumberry, but I do not want to use it up quite yet, and to be fairly honest, I completely forgot that I had the Lumberry at that time because I was in desperate need of spare leftovers. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have a spare set of leftovers, I'm willing to trade for a 6 IV Ditto, completely legit. Comment below and get your Dittos. And to anyone that watched my previous upload, I have not forgotten about you guys. I've just been very busy and all, so I will. You guys will get your 6 IV Dittos in time. So if you guys are patient enough, I promise that you will get your Dittos. So apparently, I fodder my Michelangelo because there's nothing he can do here, ladies and gentlemen. So I go for the Recover because it is the best thing I can do right now, and I do not want to lose this thing because he does have a few Pokemon that can take a I actually forgot what I was trying to say, so if it was important I wouldn't have forgotten. So I go for another Taunt on this thing, and he broke my Lumberry. He used it up. That will save me the first time, but it will not be that useful a second time. So he goes for another Shadow Ball, and I go for the Nightshade. Why did I go for the Nightshade? Why did I go? I should have gone for a Will-O-Wisp to wear it down because that thing is a hell of a threat. So Misdreavus goes for another Shadow Ball. I'm using up his Shadow Balls, which is a good thing. So he gets a special defense drop, and I have to switch this out of here because his taunt is worn off, and this thing is readily another threat. So he goes for another Shadow Ball, which is a good thing because he had the special defense drop, and Euclidus is pretty much gonna die here. So I set up my last screens. If I was smart in the past as well as I am now, I would have set up, and yes, I was actually smart enough to set up the light screen because even if he went for another Shadow Ball, I would have tanked that hit. enough to set up a reflect and die nobly, because that's what Klefki is supposed to do, die nobly. So out comes Sparkles, because even if he went for Psychic, you never know. I could have tanked that hit, and I do have a safe switch in, so I knew that he was going to switch out into someone to pass the wish onto. So I went for the free Nightshade, which takes 50 HP off of you, and it is quite useful, because if you think that the max HP that normal Pokemon can get. Okay, let's take the maximum. Blissey, which has the biggest HP rate, with dies with seven Nightshades. Man, that's a lot. That is a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, math aside, L'Oreal uses Ampharos as its in its campaign to sell new hair products, and it looks so dashingly fabulous. So I go for the Earthquake, hoping to kill Ampharos, because I tanked the hit beautifully. So have you ever seen this? This is a Walling Quagsire with a Life Orb on it. This is insane. This is batshit insane. So I predicted another Dragon Pulse, because he was not going to go for the Thunderbolt. Not even in a million years. That would have been an insane prediction. And I switched my Euclideus out just for the lols, and he withdraws his Ampharos in a way. I was like, what? Why would you do that? But I'm like, yeah, it's totally understandable, because my Ferrothorn kind of walls your Ampharos in a way. So Tyler, he did a very sneaky, cheeky move. He went for the Pain Split, and apparently Euclideus is gonna die from the burn. So there you have it. My one prankster is dead, and Sparkles here will. It has to. This is an internal. This is an epic battle between ghosts. I mean, I have to hurt this thing horribly. So I predicted him to go for the Will-O-Wisp, because I do not have a Lumberry anymore, I believe, and Sparkles has to switch out, because I'm going to be taking a terrible Dragon Pulse to the face, and I do not want that to happen. So who is the perfect person to take a Thunderbolt slash Dragon Pulse? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Astinos. So he has a Feraligatr that I haven't seen quite yet, but given my walls, Feraligatr won't be of that much use, so he has to take my walls out in the first place to be able to set his Feraligatr in. So I managed to get my Stealth Rocks up, which is great, because I wanted to, and it's always good to have an entry hazard, seeing that he doesn't have a spinner. You know, at that low amount of HP, I mean, an Ampharos and that Espeon, which I remember has a very low amount of HP, might die to the Stealth Rocks, but I'm not sure. So he has rest on this thing. Tyler likes to run rest a lot, because I saw it on Ampharos, I saw it on his Donphan. Ladies and gentlemen, that is one hell of an Ampharos, because it's been giving me a hard time. I mean, L'Oreal is very powerful. So Murat, ladies and gentlemen, is going to perform it's going to perform its ninth symphony, and if the guys from the Greek Pokemon community who scolded Unaware Quagsire so badly, if these guys are watching the battle now, I'm going to prove to them how wrong they ever were. So I won't go for the Yawn, because I'm willing to take my chances, and I know I can live a Dragon Pulse, and I know that he's going to go to sleep. But luckily for me, ladies and gentlemen, he goes for a second Cotton Guard, which means that I do not have to take any damage, meaning that I can stockpile up now instead of wasting a turn of recovering just to play it safe. So special defense goes up, which is good, and I'm going to go all the way. So he's at +6 defense, and I'm curious to see how much my Earthquake is going to do, but this thing could wake up any moment, so I want to be sure that I have a very good amount of special defense. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is a monster. I'm telling you, I do not have any screens up because he killed my screener, and Dragon Pulse on my Muret did absolutely nothing, and with +3 now, it's gonna hardly leave a dent. So do not let a Quagsire set up a special defense, because, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna suffer. You will suffer if you're against this Quagsire and you let it set up 3 stockpiles. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will be able to take it down. Honestly, this thing is crazy. This thing is, it's a monster, ladies and gentlemen. No wonder. It's no, it's not a monster egg group, but you get what I'm trying to say. Dragon Pulse did nothing from the start, from the word go, from the very beginning. It did nothing. So I'm gonna go for an Earthquake, and this thing, remember, is at max defense +6, and it did like half. So I know that I can kill it with another Earthquake, and Ampharos falls to sleep. And I will go for a recover, because, you know, I do not want to dwindle my HP, and I want to be ready for anything that comes in after Ampharos is done. So I'm at full HP right now, and Ampharos is asleep, which is good, which means that I will be able to kill it off with an Earthquake. So Earthquake does a lot of damage, and even at +6 from a Quagsire with a life orb, which is my wall. It doesn't have lefties, it has a life orb, because I had no item. But now I think I'm pretty good with the lefties. Espeon comes out, and this is where I wished I really, when I said wished, Espeon went for its own wish. That's when I really wished that I could, that Stealth Rocks would have killed this thing, but apparently there's not much Espeon can do, so it will die. And you're right, here is actually I lost my physical sweeper, and I'm sweeping with my Quagsire. Ladies and gentlemen, I got back in the game due to my Quagsire. So Donphan goes for the Earthquake. Ladies and gentlemen, that will hardly leave a scratch, because my Quagsire is so bulked up right now. It's even bulkier than what I am in terms of defense. So Donphan can go for Earthquake all day long. I can take those things all day long. And I'm going to recover. I can sit here and blast recover all day. I mean, I could sit here, I could just, you know, recover. Just recover, sit down and recover. So, at this point, I decide to switch out to spice my game up, because this wasn't fair to Tyler at all. So, and to finally be able to kill that thing with the Power Whip. So, Donphan is still asleep, which is good. And even if he goes for the Earthquake, I'm pretty sure I can take an Earthquake from my Astinos anyway. So quick shout out again, and this time I have more time to say to talk about it. Guys, I want you to I will be posting a link, maybe not in this battle, but in the next one there will be a link to my friend Craig's Tumblr account. I want you guys to follow it, because he's coming up with a beautiful comic, hand-drawn, and I want you guys to be able to admire more of his creations, of which my channel profile picture is an example of his brilliant talent and stuff. So Tyler decided to give in here, because there was no point in going there, because my Astinos pretty much walled all he had left. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Hit a like, and I will be seeing you next time. So goodbye, everyone.